All right, Tesla competitor Rivian raises another $1.3 billion in funding. Where's my $1.3 billion in funding, Miss CFO over here?
I don't know. I haven't even heard of Rivian.
Okay, well, you will at some point. So the original article here is actually from everywhere. Everyone's reporting on this. Bloomberg, Ars Technica, The Verge. EV manufacturer Rivian, established way back in 2009, actually, has been playing the long game, keeping news and memes and smoking weed on the largest podcasts in the world to a minimum while quietly developing their core technology in the background, like their batteries, powertrain, etc.
It's no wonder I haven't heard of them.
This year, they have raised funding numerous times. The first round in February, led by Amazon, yielded $700 million. In April, Ford invested $500 million. And in September, Cox Automotive invested $350 million. This is $1.55 billion. Then, led by T. Rowe Price Associates, they raised another $1.3 billion, bringing the total up to $2.85. So for comparison, Tesla has raised more than $20 billion in equity and debt financing over the last decade. With this new funding, they hope to have vehicles rolling off their once Mitsubishi-owned plant in 2020. I think ultimately I'm going to end up being right to wait on the electric vehicle bandwagon, because there's already some really interesting stuff. Like, on the one hand, you could go, okay, yeah, well, the Model S still beats Porsches. Is it Porsches? Model S versus Porsche. Yeah, Taycan. Okay, yeah, maybe the Model S still beats it or whatever. So I could have just as easily bought myself a Model S, a few years back and have been enjoying it all this time. That's a fair enough point. But the flip side of that is that at least it's a competition that we're talking about. So by the time I'm ready to move on from the Volt, which I still need to do a video on.
Yeah.
By the time I'm ready to move on from the Volt, there could be enough competition that you can get something really sweet for a lot less than what you're spending now. With that said, the Model 3 is looking pretty sweet.
And I thought the Teslas were actually holding their value really well.
I have so many problems with the way that Tesla does things.
I'm not saying that I do or don't. I'm just saying they're holding their value well. If what you're saying is that you're not getting into it because of price and it'll get better, well, I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. There's things that I don't like about the way Tesla is going about this. So 3 things. I don't like how Tesla is approaching the right to repair thing. Not allowing people and non-authorized repair services to have access to the tools that they need to fix the car safely. I'm not a fan of what...
So can I just ask first,
Yeah.
Is that... So I know for a lot of things, like the Apple stuff, you guys are super against it, and I get why.
Yep.
But for the Tesla thing, is that because they have proprietary software that no one else knows, and so if they tinker with it wrong, then Tesla's technically on the hook?
They can still build tools. They can still build tools that will make it so other people can interface with it without giving away their proprietary software.
Got it. Okay.
Thing I don't like, number 2, is this whole hardware as a service thing that's kind of creeping up on us. So Tesla has actually developed a very good reputation for keeping the software of their cars up to date and adding new features over time. But what it seems like to me is that they've been playing a very careful, very intentional long game here, because a recent update for the Model 3 is actually a paid update. So you can pay for your Model 3, assuming you have the correct hardware configuration, to go a little bit faster. Now, these are things that they used to either have you buy at the time of purchase, or... sorry, where was I going with this?
Well, you were talking about how you have to pay for that software upgrade.
Right.
depending
Or
on
they would
hardware.
actually provide free upgrades over time as they realize that, the battery packs can actually output a little bit more juice. We can handle this. Let's just go ahead and roll it out. And that was really cool. And then now we're finding that they're putting software locks at the time of purchase instead of actually changing out the hardware depending on the features you buy. So software locks made their way in, I think particularly with their autopilot features and now with performance. And then now software locks are coming after the fact. So they're finding ways to monetize these cars on an ongoing basis. I think this is a really dangerous path to go down, but I also don't know what the right solution is, because what the existing big car manufacturers have been doing obviously isn't right, where they just put it out in the wild and go, You know, if it's buggy, then I don't know. I guess that one has issues with the CD changer. Too bad. I mean, we'll fix it in the next model year. I guess you could just get a new car. So that's not right either. And I also know that ongoing software development has to be funded by something. I just am not a huge fan of, having my
subscription service to your car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Having my products be like How do we know that we're not going down a slippery slope where I have to pay on a monthly basis to have that performance? Or maybe, let's turn it into a microtransaction. So every time I press the pedal, twice hard or something, I get the extra boost and it costs me 50 cents.
Well, they're not unlocking, or they're not locking anything that you were already getting.
I hope no one from Tesla is watching this right now. Microtransactions.
Oh, jeez. No, but okay, when you buy the Tesla vehicle, they're not locking something that you were already entitled to before. It's just locking future stuff, right? So you're paying what you're getting for it technically.
As a hardware guy, I find it offensive that I paid for something that you put in there, or maybe I didn't pay for it. Whatever. The point is, you sold me this hardware that has capability X. So clearly, at the price I paid, let's say $50,000, you were making a profit on it.
Yeah.
And then, arbitrarily, you've decided that that wasn't the right amount of profit, and you want a little bit more for me to get everything that I paid for. It was all there.
Well, hardware-wise, yes.
Hardware-wise, yes.
No, but yeah.
But yeah, but they did all that software development. They are just artificially segmenting it. And now, arguably, they did do additional engineering and additional software development for something like a speed boost. And somebody's got to pay for that. So I get it. I just think it is an extremely slippery slope. The last thing I don't like is I don't like their marketing. I don't like them calling it autopilot. I think that is extremely misleading for what the capabilities of their autonomous driving features are.
Are you sure it's not autopilot? Because I read a newspaper article about these people in Richmond who were freaking out because this car in a parking lot was driving itself to its owner.
Right. So that's my problem.
Autopilot?
No, I believe it was the summoning or remote control feature. And yes, they have features that are deployed today that are effectively your car basically driving itself as long as you have your hands on the wheel every once in a while. But there are documented cases of people being literally asleep at the wheel while their Tesla rips down the freeway. And I think that Tesla's marketing and branding creates a false sense of security, and I think it is extraordinarily dangerous. I think we're gonna have a hard enough time moving into an autonomous vehicle future without someone going in and bunging it up right at the beginning, causing legislators and Luddites and all the other people who are gonna hold up signs and yell about how bad this is and they took our cars and whatever. They're gonna just add fuel to that fire and make it take longer than it has to. Because I want a level 5 autonomous vehicle as soon as possible, but it's not going to happen if someone screws up at level 3 and then it's just illegal for the longest time, even though we had the technology and it was there if only we'd been patient and we had set expectations correctly. Those are my 3 problems with Tesla. Those are the 3 reasons that I have a hard time supporting them.
To be clear, I'm not for or against Tesla. I don't actually care. I just wanted a vehicle that was, the back mirror wasn't teeny tiny and I could actually shoulder check properly. So that's my only issue with the Volt.
100L3 says, dangerous Dave, my childhood memories. You have a kindred spirit out there.
I've also dated myself a little bit.
Hey, dating you ain't that bad. Side hilarious thing, Rivian's vehicles now apparently have a feature called Tank Turn, which looks amazing. I mean, if you're gonna have a motor on every wheel, it might as well.
Oh, wow.
Donuts will never be the same, ladies and gentlemen. I think their truck looks like less ridiculous too, actually.
It looks more like a regular truck.
Yeah, but it still looks kind of futuristic and cool.
Kind of, yeah. But I mean, when you compare it to the Cybertruck, no. But yes, it does on its own.
But you can't, dock an ATV on the back of it, I guess, or whatever.
I guess, and you don't get that. I don't know. Like if somebody were to see the Cybertruck on the road, they would know immediately.
Oh yeah.
It's iconic.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
And that's not really. I feel like you're kind of paying for the status symbol.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, but that's the thing. Tesla's done a great job of building that brand for themselves. I mean, maybe part of it is I'm trying to be contrarian. Maybe that's part of it. I can admit that.
I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Honestly, I get a little annoyed when I'm shopping for a car, as I was a year ago, and people are just like, "Oh, you're a tech guy, get a Tesla." It's like, it's not the only car manufacturer on Earth, and there are reasons that it might not be optimal.
Yeah, I actually like having our hybrid vehicle.
Plug-in hybrid,
Plug-in
to be
hybrid.
clear.
Yeah.
Not quite the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a hybrid doesn't necessarily have a large enough battery pack that you drive on purely electric.
Okay.
Or doesn't necessarily.
Well, anyway,
it doesn't.
when we have you ever gone through the rationale of why you bought what you did, or are you saving that for the review that's never
I was
coming?
planning to talk about it in my review of my Volt that is coming, and I will do eventually.
Pretty sure it was supposed to come out like a year ago.
It was. Let's just see.
Okay. Well, I won't ruin it for everybody.